What's good, y'all? Welcome back. The NBA regular season has officially wrapped up. Well, there's actually like 6 or 7 games still on right now, but pretty much everything is set as far as seeding goes for the most part. Might be some smaller things, but we'll get into that with the playoff preview and the play-in preview that's coming up this week. But the end of the regular season means it's time to give my award picks for the 2021-22 regular season. Just to let y'all know, this is not who I think is gonna win the award. These are the players that I would vote for if I had a vote, essentially. So that doesn't mean if I had player X winning MVP, that does not mean I really think like, oh, he's definitely winning MVP. That's not the case. Just to get that out the way. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. But leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I appreciate all the support. And let's start with the obvious one, 6th man of the year. I didn't even make a short list. It's Tyler Hero. It's been him all season long. Probably the most important offensive player for the Miami Heat. Has been basically their go-to shot creator off the bench this season. He's been amazing. Took that step forward, which I was pretty adamant that I was expecting him to in the preseason. And he's one of my 2 award picks that are still holding strong from the preseason. So shout out to Tyler Hero. He's been great. There's some other guys that have had good years off the bench, but Tyler Hero is far and away. He should be unanimous as far as I'm concerned. We'll move on to Coach of the Year. I did make a short list, but I think the winner is pretty obvious in my eyes. I got Taylor Jenkins at number 2. I have Ime Udoka at number 3 for the Boston Celtics and the Grizzlies respectively. Both guys have done a great job with their teams. One team had a drastic turnaround and the other one has played a lot of games without their star player. And both teams are number 2 in the conference as the season wraps up, so shout out to them. But the best team in the NBA has been the Phoenix Suns all year long, and Monty Williams is my Coach of the Year. There's a good argument that he could have won it last season. I could have definitely saw that, but I think this year it's pretty evident. 64-18 is looking like what they're gonna get because they're down by like 20 right now at halftime. But still, best season in franchise history. They've dealt with, Book missing time. They dealt with Chris Paul missing time. They dealt with a lot, and they're still heads and shoulders above everybody else this season. And I'm excited to see what their playoff run looks like, man. But I think Monty definitely deserves the Coach of the Year this season. There's some other guys like JB Bickerstaff should definitely get some love because nobody thought the Cavs were going to be this good. Hell, I think Nick Nurse deserves some praise too because he's been very good this season as well. A lot of great coaches in the league for sure. Most improved player. There's a good list of candidates for sure. And I didn't go up with the easy pick with Ja Morant because in my eyes, Ja Morant is the type of guy that is expected to take a big leap forward. He was already somebody that showed signs of stardom. Like, he was already arguably a star player in his 2nd year. Excuse me. Now he's moving on. Obviously his numbers jumped up a big ton, which is what you want to see in a most improved player. But he's in year 3. He's already shown signs of being an all-star type talent, and he's put it all together this season, which I don't want to hold that against him too much, but when I think of a most improved player, I think somebody like a Julius Randle is a prime example of that. Or somebody like a CJ McCollum, guys that have been in the league for multiple years, 3-4 seasons, and they've been struggling to put it together consistently, but then they finally got it, and they go out have an all-star caliber season. That's what I think of with an MIP type of guy. That's what I think of. So I had Ja at number 3. I had Jordan Poole at number 2 because he's been amazing. Another dude that really took a big leap forward this season. But Dejonte Murray, he's my guy. I've been pushing the Dejonte narrative all season long, and his numbers jumped up big time. I think like points are up like maybe 5.5. His rebounds are up. His assists are up. And the Spurs are a playing team, which I don't think many of us expected them to be before this season. And just the way their season started, they didn't start off pretty well, but 2nd half of the season they've been better. And DeJounte's play has even stepped up post All-Star, which is very impressive. And I'm glad he got that All-Star nod, even though it was as an injury replacement, but he definitely deserved it. And he's my MIP. I might get some hate for that, man, because Ja might be the easy pick. But I don't know. I'm comfortable with that, man. I'm very comfortable. And this is where my awards get a little dicey. I'm not going to lie. Depoy was tough. I made a tweet the other day, and I said I have pretty much all my awards decided except for Defensive Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year. Everything else I pretty much had wrapped up. But this one was tough, and I did make a short list, and I did have to leave some guys off, obviously. Like Giannis, Rudy Gobert both got left off. Maybe it's fatigue with me with Rudy, but I still just don't think the Jazz have been as potent defensively as they have been in previous years, which you can't really knock too much against him because he is the reason why they're even a competent defense in the first place. But I just don't think that this is his year to win Depoy because it's such a wide open race. And I left Giannis off for, I guess it's because his team is not like a top 10 defense. I don't think they are. They might have crept in the top 10, but they're not as lethal as they have been in the past. And I know they've dealt with the Brook Lopez injury, but you still have quality defenders all around you too. And when this race is so tight, you know, you got to be a little nitpicky. And that's maybe me nitpicking a little too much, but this is my ballot, so I don't have any problems with it. Number 3, I got Bam Adebayo. He did miss some time this season, but he's what makes that Heat defense go. They obviously have good defenders around him, but he is what makes it go, man. If he didn't miss that time, he might be the runaway favorite for me. I could say the same about Draymond Green too, because at one point he was the clear-cut guy to me. But right now, I have Bam at the number 3 spot. I think he was top 3 last season as well. So he has a reputation as a great defender, can switch 1 through 5. And there's an argument for him for sure. Just like how number 2, I got Jaren Jackson Jr. There is a big-time argument for him. The Grizzlies completely flipped their narrative defensively. Like early on in the season, they were like the worst defense, and now they flipped into like a top 10 defense. They've been really good, and even with Ja missing time, Jaren's been the one consistent staple on that side of the floor, being great for them. I remember there's a game against the Knicks earlier this season where it was like 3 straight possessions down the stretch. He had a block shot, and they all led the buckets on the other end. Dude is super impactful defensively, and he's been available this season, which has been the biggest knock on him in his young career. So I'm glad to see him take that stride forward, man, because he's somebody that's super talented, and we are still yet to see the best of Jaren Jackson Jr. And number 1 might be a homer pick. It might be a homer pick, but I'm not mad at it, bro. It's either Marcus Smart or Robert Williams for me. I'm gonna give it to Smart because 1, I would just like to see a guard win it. I think guards' defensive impacts don't get praised enough. And 2, Marcus Smart, somebody that can legit guard like 1 through 5. Like the other night against the Bucks down the stretch, he was guarding Giannis and he was making plays. He gave the Celtics a chance to win that game, even without Jason Tatum playing. So I don't know, if Rob Williams didn't get hurt, he was probably going to be my defensive player of the year, but got to be a little nitpicky. He missed time at the end of the season, so it's like that's kind of the recent memory that you have is him not playing. But this Celtics team has still been pretty good defensively, even without the impact of Robert Williams. And I think a lot of that is due to Marcus Smart because he is the heart and soul of this team on that side of the floor, man. So the best defense all season long, I got to give the nod to one of those guys. And right now, we'll just go with Marcus Smart since he's still playing and he's played a majority of the season for them. And I can already hear the comments. I can already hear the comments, but it's cool. Rookie of the Year, we know who the top 3 candidates are. I do want to get some shout outs though, because Franz Wagner's been very good all season long. Jalen Green has picked it up like crazy. He just dropped 41 tonight. I think he's dropped like 30 and maybe 6 or 7. Like he's been going nuts lately. And Josh Giddey's won Rookie of the Month pretty much every single month. Probably up until this month because Jalen Green has been killing. But this rookie class is deep, but we know who the top 3 guys are. Cade, Mobley, Scotty Barnes. You could have them in any 3 order and I would not be mad at you. If you have Scotty winning Rookie of the Year, I'm not mad at you. If you have Mobley, not mad at you. If you have Cade, I'm not mad at you. I got Scotty at 3, Mobley at 2, Cade at 1. I just think Cade's been very good really since like the maybe first week or so of his rookie year when he came off that ankle injury. And since then he's just been very good, and you see the flashes of why he's the top pick in this draft. And I know Scotty's been very good all year. I know Mobley has too. And I know they're on winning teams, but in my eyes, I don't think winning should impact the Rookie of the Year race because it's rare that a very good rookie is going to be on a very good team at the same time. It's rare. You can make cases for each of these guys. You could say the fact that, hey, Scotty's like a 4th option on the team, but he's still putting up very good numbers, and he's very impactful defensively. He does a little bit of everything. Mobley is probably the 2nd most impactful defender on a Cavs team that's overachieved this season. You can make that argument. And then, Cade is like, he's kind of playing by himself on the perimeter. I mean, Jeremy Grant's there, but he's always in and out of the lineup. And as far as guards go, it's really just Cade. His counterparts don't really do too much consistently. And a lot is on Cade's shoulders, and he's won games for them this season. A team that's not very good, obviously, but he's won games for a very incompetent team. And he's shown why he was the top pick in this draft. Like I said, you can go either way. If you want to go Mobley, not mad at you. He was my Rookie of the Year for most of the season until he started missing time at the end of the year. If you go Scotty, not mad at you. He's been great since day one. He's been amazing since day one. I'm going to go with Cade. I'm going to just go with Cade Cunningham, man. But like I said, either one of these guys. This might be the closest Rookie of the Year race that we've had in a long time, with 3 candidates that can legit take home the trophy. MVP. I'm on record of changing my MVP pick like maybe 10 times this season. At one point it was KD, at one point it was Steph. I was pushing a DeMar narrative for a little bit. I was pushing Embiid being the best player in the world narrative. I was pushing a lot, and I've said Jokic recently, and I've said Giannis is making a push. I think Joel fell to number 3. I think that's evident. He fell to number 3 for me, and it's between Giannis and Jokic, and I went with Nikola Jokic. I did. For his narrative is basically Jamal Murray, MPJ, basically missed the entire season except for maybe 9 games of Michael Porter Jr., which he was a shell of himself when he was playing because he was playing through an injury. So it's like Jokic has still done all that. This team is a 48, 49 win team depending on how their last game goes. Look, the fact that they're still, you know, a top 6 team in the Western Conference, which is very top heavy, and you know they can move up to 5 if Utah loses tonight. Like, they could easily do that. The Bucks have, I think, 51 wins on the year, which that's a 2-3 game difference. So it's not really like a drastic difference. You can say, oh, he's a 6th seed. If you look at records, they're very close. Jokic is doing historical things. I think highest PER in NBA history. The advanced numbers love him. They love Giannis too, but they love Jokic a little bit more when you look at that stuff, man. Like box plus minus and, you know, net rating, like all that stuff. Jokic clears every advanced stat basically. I don't know how much this weighs, but 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 500 assists is pretty insane if you think about it. Something that's never been done in NBA history, even though there's been insane seasons, of course. But that's a crazy year by him. Look, it's tough. It's tough. But I'm gonna go with Jokic. I think he gets back to back. And I'll be interested to see, like, will there be any set criteria like for MVP guys moving forward? Because, you know, it kind of switches a little bit every year. I've been on record of saying that. And I don't know, you can make cases for either one of them. Even if you have a case for Joel, maybe it's compelling too. But I'm gonna go with Jokic. I think the media members are gonna go with Jokic. This is the one award where I think, like, yeah, like this is the guy that's gonna win it. Because advanced numbers, they love him. He has the storyline. He has the raw numbers. And, you know, his team's good. His team's still good. And they, because of him, solely because of him, people think that they will still have a chance to at least get out the first round because Jokic is that good. If y'all disagree with any of my picks, let me know. Let me know, because I know this list isn't perfect. I know most people probably have John Morant as their most improved player. I'm not mad at that. Most people probably don't have Cade as Rookie of the Year. Not mad at that. There's cases for everybody. But one thing that we can agree with, this has been a very, very entertaining regular season. And I'm excited for what the playoffs is going to bring us, man. I'm definitely going to do a play-in preview. And then once all the series gets set, look out for my playoff preview. Hopefully Friday after the last play-in game. But I appreciate y'all once again. Leave a like, subscribe if you are new. I'm going to get more onto a consistent schedule. Last week was kind of busy for me, so I didn't have time to upload. But we're going to be back, man, because the playoffs are basically here.